Human beings are searching for the personal experience of reality. They are seeking to come to understand themselves, to find a reason for their own existence.
And so you go round and round and round, ever chasing the illusion that there is something outside yourself, outside your here and now, to be attained that will make things better.
No guru, no method, no teacher, and no nothing else either.
All right, welcome everybody. We are joined today with Cali Jean Blake. Cali, how are you doing?
Doing pretty dandy today. How are you? Yeah, I feel like that kind of sums it up pretty much. I lied a little bit, but yeah, I'm here.
I feel it. Yeah, things are going good for me, but it's like I actually shared a post on Facebook right before this, and it was like, when the vibes aren't there, you got to hang on till they come around or whatever. When they are there, you got to hang on and ride the lightning. And right now,
I just saw that. It was great.
I'm on like that ride the lightning phase of fucking everything where like I got to do all the things. I have the energy to do it, so it's cool. But it's also like I got to keep that momentum going while it's still around, because there'll be them energetic dips, as we all know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's a roller coaster.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're having this conversation because of a thing that you posted, which like I would say that like your experience is at 100% real. Like I don't want to discredit the experience, but I think there's an alternate perspective of it. Do you want to share what you were talking about first, or do you want me to read this quote first?
Oh, either or. Doesn't matter. But basically, I guess what I'm just kind of stuck in right now is as a creative and someone who's trying to make a livelihood off of their creative gifts, or really any gift that you have, whether it be Reiki or being a massage therapist or a painter or an artist or whatever kind of a gift that you have. I'm in this rut where I've been, expressing my gifts, and there have been times where people have been like, for lack of a better term, really thirsty for what you've got going on. So
thirsty horses.
Yeah. So like that product that you're creating with your gift will have like a really steady influx of demand, and so you'll have a good time. And then I'm kind of stuck in this thing where it's just kind of faded off, and I guess what I'm trying to get at is like, I have found that when I force or push myself with my gifts as I would push myself at my job, that's when I start to hate my gifts, and I like almost resent them, and I just don't want to do them because that's like almost making them like work and putting a monetary value on them, which I hate to do, but I mean, you gotta live, right?
For sure. There's definitely a lot to unpack there in my perspective. And I definitely think that anybody who's like a creative person is there at times as well. I'm going to get into this quote. It's from yesterday, or this daily reading from yesterday, because I feel like it really applies to this. And I could be completely wrong because I just looked at it again briefly. But we'll find out. If I'm wrong, it won't be the first nor the last time. As unlikely as it seems at times, there is always a way, even a better way. If we can keep on working and using our vision, there will be solutions and they will not fail. Our limited view can make us believe answers must come through certain channels. It is hard to stop thinking that one particular way is all there is, that we have no choice. It makes us rely on a crust of bread when we could have a feast. If we want a breakthrough, we need to take off our blinders. Stop pressing our minds into tiny molds that have no room to expand. Allow, even encourage the mind and spirit to use the gift of vision, extraordinary ability to see beyond ordinary sight to a better way. There was a time our wants were within our control. We saw nothing we could not get. And that final little quote was said by Sheretarish. But like, to me, that really sums up what you're talking about in lots of ways. It's like, so there's this saying, when you argue for your limitations, you're pretty much stuck with them. And really, everything you said about what you're going through is arguing for your limitations.
I guess you're right there. Yeah.
And one of the things that you said that like really stuck out to me is how when I push myself like work, I don't like doing my gifts. And in my mindset right there, that's where the majority of your problem is. First off, you're making your gift work. You're not doing it because you love it. And it's not that you can't have money associated with it. It's that you're putting pressure on it. There's not actually pressure to do your gift. It's you creating this pressure, but that pressure doesn't need to exist. It's because you're not receiving what you want on the timeline that's comfortable for you. So it's making something that you love doing, that you enjoy making money off of, uncomfortable because you're creating this unrealistic expectation. And I say unrealistic in the sense that rather than letting the universe provide for you, you're saying, universe, do this, or I'm not playing, universe. You can go fuck off with yourself.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Sometimes I catch myself in that, and at least I'm aware of it now.
Dude, awareness is key.
Yeah.
And let me say this too. None of the stuff I'm saying to you isn't shit that I don't do myself. Even like with recalibrating everything with my business lately, it's come from a similar space of stagnation, but it's also self-created stagnation in the sense that I'm repeatedly trying this way that has not been sustainable or successful. And then I'm like, why isn't this sustainable or successful? It never really has been, but why is it not now? Why is it not different than it's ever been?
Yeah. It's that one little snippet of time that was created, where like everything was, everything seems really promising, and then it's like, well, no, that was just a little influx, but it's not the norm. So meeting that conclusion is just a little tough sometimes.
For sure. And then one of the other things that is really limiting in what you said, and this isn't like a fucking bash on Cali situation.
Oh no, it's okay. I need a good roast, actually, so go for it.
So what's the deal with, no, I'm just joking. But one of the things you said in the thing that you shared on Facebook was about how do you, you feel like you've used up your whole market of people that you know, or something along those lines, when there's a whole different perspective that you could look at it as, I've really just scratched the surface of my market. There's a bunch of people out there that want what I'm creating that I haven't even met yet. Like,
that's true.
So you're going from this mindset like of scarcity of, dude, I hit up everybody that's going to want to buy this. I'm completely pigeonholed. I'm fucked. Might as well close up shop. Like, to, holy shit, I've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more empowering.
Yeah, it is. It's so funny to see, like, where you are like a year ago versus like a year later. Like, I'm in that rut a little bit that some of us meet after our awakening, if you want to call it that. Where it's like things start to just kind of go one in ear and out the other, and it's really comes time to practice what you preach, and it's just a little harder to do that, especially with remembering to see a positive light or a positive way. Sometimes it's like you almost forget how to do that, even though you were super good at doing it like a year ago. It's just interesting to see how our journey can change. But there's also change in the future too, so
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the other things that like I've really found for me too is there's this certain space. I didn't even mention breakthrough, which is interesting because I recorded something yesterday about like the gifts of growth. And there becomes this point in growth where it becomes really, really fucking uncomfortable because you're completely outside of the norm. And you're like, I really want to go from here to here, but I kind of have to take this leap of faith. I don't really want to do this leap of faith, even though all the evidence would suggest that I'll be okay no matter what. But I don't want to take this leap and this is uncomfortable. So I'm going to stop when it's uncomfortable. And then you never really grow. Like you never like break through the soil, I guess. Like if you're a plant, it's probably uncomfortable as hell right before they pop through the soil, like right before they have the breakthrough. But they're like, I'm just going to quit now. I'm just going to curl up and die. Screw this. Like, I don't want to plant anymore. And it's like the same thing with this. You like what you do. Let me put this in a whole nother way too. So you love creating, you love using your gifts, you enjoy doing that so much. And making money off of it would be awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like getting paid
Fair
to do what you
statement.
love to do, right?
Yeah, of course.
But because it's difficult for you to, and I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing because this is something I do to myself, but because it's difficult at times to get what you want, you're almost saying, I'd rather do shit that I don't like that doesn't nourish my soul for money and then do what I love for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
But is that really what you want? Let me do something I hate to make money and do what I love and that I'm passionate about that would really benefit people for free. Does that really make sense?
Not really, no.
Right?
It doesn't.
Exactly. This you can jump in if you want, so I'm not like preaching to you.
Oh, you're fine. I'm like just kind of like rolling this all around in like my head right now. It's just like a big like Western scrambled breakfast bowl of like feelings and emotions and just trying to process and taste this. So keep talking. You're doing fine.
When you said Western, for whatever reason, I pictured a desert and like a tumbleweed just rolling by.
Oh no, you know, like the breakfast scrambles, you got like the chorizo and the peppers and like, you know, Western, like spicy. I don't know. I'm
No,
from the Midwest. We call it Western. So
I get what you're saying. When I lived in a flop house for like 2 or 3 months when I moved back to California from the Florida Keys, and we ate one meal a day because it was like me and 2 other people in a studio apartment. But we ate one meal a day called scramble, and it literally was just like throwing whatever we had into like this giant wok and cooking it and like eating it.
Oh yeah.
I know all about scrambles, everything.
Yes. I'm the master of ramen right now. Like dressing up ramen, like bougieing up a bowl of ramen noodles. Like that's my name right now. That's what I do. That's great. I'll write a book about it someday.
I can't eat ramen anymore because when I moved to Vegas, that was like my staple. I ate ramen like for every meal for like 3 or 4 months because I was so broke.
Exactly. Yeah. Like in 10 years, if someone even like mentions ramen, I'm probably going to just like throw up. But hey, for right now, I'm living it.
Hell yeah. You got to do what you got to do to survive.
Heck yeah. Ain't no shame in my game.
One of the other things that like has really refocused my whole thing of working for myself and doing what I enjoy doing is this Facebook group. I'll give you the link after this and I'll put it in the description in case other people are interested. But it's free, and this lady has like these 5-day challenges, and one of them is about like, I don't know if it's just one specific day within a 5-day challenge or if it was the whole challenge, but it's all about pricing. And she goes through and like she brings up these points of like where did your money mindset come from really? Like when you think about it, like you tell yourself that you have to work really hard to be able to sell your art or whatever, or it's a lot of work. And it's almost like how much of that is you making it more difficult than it needs to be because you've almost been taught since you were a little kid probably that if you're not working hard for your money, you don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Dude, when she brought that up in the group, it was like a fucking bomb went off in my head. I was like,
no, yeah, that's like, that was like That's supposed to be a bomb noise, but it didn't quite go across as such.
It was like a calm bomb, like calm like a
Yeah,
bomb.
like
Um,
a tear gas bomb or something like that. Nothing
yeah,
too
or like a
intense.
snap.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I think you should ask yourself this too is, why do you feel that you shouldn't, like, why do you feel uncomfortable charging for spiritual stuff or for your gifts?
Whoa. Shit, I don't even know how to answer that.
Is it because that you've seen that in lots of circles where you shouldn't charge for it?
Well, I mean, it started off as me just like painting for fun, and then like I don't know, I think it just comes from like when I was younger, it's like my idea of art was like these big elaborate pieces that were selling for like thousands of dollars. And then like here's like little old me with my little watercolors, like or my acrylic, whatever. And then I just for some reason I feel like I put a limit on myself just because I'm not like in a fucking museum somewhere, or like I'm not like a super well-known artist. I don't feel like I have the right or the ability to like charge what I really think that like my art or like some of the things that I do are worth. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. It's a limiting belief system. It's based on your
Yeah,
self-worth and how you see yourself. I'm not good enough to charge what I probably should be charging.
I know.
Um,
Such a hard bump to get over sometimes. Just having a really tough time with it.
I really suggest that you take her like 5-day challenge, because for me, it blew me away. She has you go through like some ancestral healing about it, because your whole concept of money has been shaped since you were a kid by everybody around you.
Hmm.
The next thing is, like, a lot of times we get in this mindset of like scarcity towards money. I can't get the money that I want. There's no money to be gotten. Everybody else gets the money. I never get the money. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Getting money is fucking difficult. And if I don't have a way, how can I get it? And one of the things that I've found out is um, with law of attraction or things like that, the more that you specifically create one route that things have to go down for you to get money doing what you enjoy, or not even money, but to get what you want, the more you create this narrow realm of possibility for how it can happen, the less likely it is to happen, because the universe doesn't work like that. At least in my experience, the universe is never like, dude, we're going to do everything Ross wants to do, because Ross has it all sorted out. Most of the time, the
Yeah,
universe
dude.
is right.
Great, man.
Most of the
Shaka
time,
bra.
most of the time, the universe is like, dude, do you hear this dumb shit Ross is saying? Let me present this in a way that Ross is gonna be like, dude, why didn't I think? Universe, you like universe so much better than I could have assumed you could universe. It's like, here's this little tasty treat. Let me give you an example. So my weekly money goal for my tarot readings is $140.
Mm-hmm.
This week, I hadn't really been putting in the energy to actually showing up for some of the tarot reading apps and stuff that I make money off of, because I've been so busy like refining stuff for my business. So I was short of making some of the money. But somehow, without me putting in energy, advertising anything, doing anything, just because I had the mindset of, if the universe wants me to have this money, it will come to me as it's supposed to. So I created a sense of abundance. There's a bunch of money out there. It'll come if it's supposed to. I'm not really that concerned. I got to do what I got to do. I had 2 random people hit me up for readings. So first off, I've had to up my prices to be more respectful to my experience. And then I actually got to try out this new payment method, which will make it easier for me to get money. And then I got to try out this new booking service with one of these people, which will make it easier for me to get money. So I'm actually pretty much right where I need to be with my money this week without even really trying, because I've given the universe space to work. So like with your art thing, how much space do you give it to work, or do you kind of create stuff and you're like, universe, make it work?
Mm, yeah, I think I'm kind of like, make this work because I'm too tired to do it myself.
For sure. So, and do you create all your commission work off of, do you do it when people tell you they want something, or you just create it and then sell it?
I've found like a weakness is um, it's harder for me to do, and I've tried it, is do like commissions for people. Like I do it occasionally, but I really don't want to do a majority of that because I mean, it just kind of almost sends me to like flashbacks of like beauty school and like having the woman in the chair trying to explain what she wants to her hair, and I'm just like, what? Like just not meeting and like not quite being there. And then also like I've just found it hard for me to really like um kind of see through the eyes of what the customer is wanting, and then putting a lot of pressure on myself to making sure it's perfect, and then like halfway through I'll be like, well, shit, it's probably just gonna look like garbage because this isn't what they want. Like, is this what they want? Like and then I like basically like mind fuck myself halfway through it. So
You just
um,
said something else that you do to yourself.
oh yeah, I'm very aware that I do that to myself, which is why I've taken a break from that a little bit. I'll get better, and like once I have more confidence in my work and a little bit more, you know, of that, I think I'll be good to go. But for right now, I don't know, just a very but mostly I just kind of create things and put out feelers and see if anybody likes it, because everyone seems to enjoy the things that I do and whatnot. So
Your stuff is awesome. Let me ask you another question. How would you feel if I said that part of the reason you have a difficulty selling stuff is you charge too little for it?
you think I charge too little? I think I charge too much.
So those pour arts that you do they're 12 by 12 records, right?
Yeah.
And what do you charge?
Oh, 65.
Oh, I see. I
That's
thought you charged 25.
No, 65 now because I have to like ship it. I like used to charge 25, but then I was like, you know, I'm gonna try a little bit more.
Okay,
But
that seems more in alignment with like where you should be at with it.
okay, that's good to hear from another artist because I was like, how much more can I get out of this 12 by 12 record? My goodness.
Let me ask you
But,
something else too. Do you have
hmm,
smaller options? Like I forget what the next standard record size would be.
um,
Like this.
I could, but right now because I'm kind of in that like eating ramen noodle mode, I have like, oh my God, hundreds of pounds of vinyl records that are the same size in the basement, and that's what I've just been using. Kind of just like work with what you have, sort of a thing right now. But I think the smaller size would be 45s, I think. Or like I think maybe half that size.
Yeah, that's something else that like this business coach told me is you need to have different tiers, and then like you're kind of limiting your business in a sense when you only have the one size. So if you have like a smaller size that you can get a decent amount for, if you price it right, you can kind of lead people into that too.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Um,
Yes, it is.
there's something else that like I really wanted to talk about, but I felt like when we were talking on Facebook, it wouldn't be articulated very well. Like, so you've how do you like view how much effort you've put into learning how to be creative? Let me, I guess that's the easiest way I can phrase it. Like if you had to
How do,
value it, like if you went to school for something, you would spend X amount of
oh,
dollars to learn something.
yeah. I guess that's true. Um, I don't know. It's kind of a tough question to answer. I guess I feel like if I had gone to like formal schooling, maybe I would have a little bit more of an edge, and then maybe I could do that. But part of me actually kind of likes trying to figure it out on the rogue end of things.
let me ask this in a different question or a different way.
Yeah.
I don't,
I don't think I absorbed that right.
no, I get what you're saying. Like, I don't think I worded my question right. Like, I definitely, I agree with you that learning your own way is a better way to do it. How many hours would you say that you've put into refining what you do creatively or with tarot reading or with anything?
Oh, a lot of time.
Just give me like a average amount, like just come up with some kind of arbitrary number. I mean, make it somewhat based in reality. Like, how many hours a week do you say that you work on art or tarot reading combined?
Tarot, not so much, as like just kind of fun, but art. When I was painting with Paint Night with my job, when I was working with them,
Mm-hmm.
I would say a good at least half of my day was dedicated to art every single day.
So 12 hours a day.
Basically waking up thinking about art, doing a painting, setting up for the art event, teaching that actual event, breaking it down, going home and uploading the pictures. Yeah, it was like a full
For
entire
7
day
days a
thing.
week?
Yeah, full time, 5, sometimes 7 when it was really busy, but
We'll do
mostly
12
just
times 5 for now.
yeah.
And then how many years did you do that for?
Paint Night 3, but I've also like, gosh, I would say maybe just add like another 2 years of just previous life experience as far as art hours go.
So 5 years total?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do, you have 60 hours a week times 54, which is just for a year alone. So a year alone, that's 3,240 hours times 5 is 16,200 hours. And let's just come up with a reasonable living wage. What would you say? $12 an hour, 12.50?
Yeah, something like
Which
that.
one, 12 or 12.50?
Let's do 12.50, that extra 50 cent, just sprinkle it on there.
So that would be the equivalent of $202,500 you've invested kind of in cultivating that skill if you factor in that value associated with those hours. And that's just that one specific thing, not to mention like other life experiences for me contributed directly to some of the gifts that I have because I instill those things into it. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like for me going fucking crazy, I count that as part of my like
Oh
skill
yeah. Count
acquiring
that.
experience. And it's like
Yeah.
I was crazy for X amount of hours times X
Right.
amount of weeks for
You
X
should
amount
pay
of
overtime for that
dollar
one.
value. Right?
Yeah.
But like when you figure that out, there's some way to I don't remember the way that she presents the math, but you can break this down into a way where it can give you like better price range for things and like give you a low tier, medium tier, high tier for how you could price stuff. But when you consider all the time you've invested in it, doesn't that give you more credibility and feeling more comfortable charging more?
Yeah, I've never like broken it down and actually like seen that number before. So I was like, what?
That's a shit ton
Okay.
of money. That's a shit ton of
Yeah.
time too,
I'm
right?
like, dang, like, yeah,
Let's
that is,
look at the time alone again.
yeah,
16,200 hours.
yeah. I'm only 26 years old. It's a lot of
Right.
time.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's okay to like be in that space. I think one of the things too, like within spiritual communities, people are incredibly uncomfortable charging for their gifts because they're almost told to be. Um,
Yeah.
but here's the thing: anybody that does anything is usually gifted at it, unless like when I was a fucking dishwasher. And I'm not insulting dishwashers, but like being a good dishwasher isn't like a divine gift. But like somebody who's a fucking doctor or something like that, I would say that that's a gift, like to be able to be good at what
Yeah.
they do. So
Yeah.
everybody,
I feel
literally
that.
every single person that has a job is getting paid for their gift. So it's a
Yeah,
limiting belief to be like, I shouldn't get paid.
that's true.
And then it also goes into the concept of if you had to work a job that you fucking hated just to get money, would you even want to spend the time to create your gift, or would it be of the same caliber? What would the energy be investing in it versus if you can, your cat is going to town behind you.
Oh, sorry, censor bar. Hey, can you do that somewhere else, please? She's a manners. She's like 14, so she's like, whatever, I'm old as fuck, like I earned this. Like so
Let me have my moment.
yeah, sorry kids.
But does all of that like kind of, do you feel better from
Yeah, I feel like a lot lighter, and it's nice to have somebody to, like, if you fall off the horse, it's nice to have someone like kick you in the ass and be like, hey, get back up there. I need that, It's nice to have that.
For sure. Yeah. And here's the thing, everybody needs that sometime, like, but not everybody has that in their life. Like, so it's good to be able to hear that, like, from other people. But the thing is, I feel like you already kind of knew it, but I feel like that's kind of almost why you made the post. Like, this is kind of like a cry for help more than it is like, this is the truth.
I was like, I need someone to, like, reality check me, because I've been, like, just generally unsure about a lot of things in my life. So I think it was just something to, like, have somebody with a sound sense be like, yeah, that's right. So I can be like, oh, okay, cool.
And let me interject with some reality, and this isn't to bring you down, but this is to keep it real. It's still going to be a shit ton of fucking work to do what you want to do, because otherwise it wouldn't be valuable.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't appreciate it. But the thing is, you have all the skills to do it, and when you change the way that you look at it, the situation will change. And when you change the energy you invest in it, and stop saying that this is work to do what I love and I have to push for it, rather than I can do what I love and it's going to come easy to me when it's supposed to. But until then, I just have to keep doing the footwork without the expectation of achieving a specific result immediately, which sucks. Like, that part sucks. This is a good time to practice discipline and patience. Fuck.
Oh, right?
Fuck.
Why? Ew. Do we have to?
I just have what I want when I want it. I wanted it yesterday, so I should have I should have all the money.
All of it just immediately transferred into my bank account right now.
And then you offshore his bank account, and you now own the Philippines.
Oh, great. I'll build everyone a house. All the peoples. Everyone. Clean water for everyone.
I didn't mean to get political.
Oh, no, that's okay. He's just a guy trying to do his thing, I guess, in a really weird way.
I always try to remember that's the universe expressing itself in that particular way, so I don't always succeed at it. The universe is just trumping, and that's what it's supposed to.
Trumping. You should trademark that.
Yeah,
just be trumping.
I'm good on that. I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah, right.
I want to keep my hands as clean as I can now. Yeah, do you have any other questions? Do you feel good? Do you have anything that you want to add to this conversation as opposed to me just regurgitating words at you?
No, I just think, I don't know, it's just it's nice to, like I said, have people that I can come to and talk to, and we're gonna be real with me and aren't gonna, like, sugarcoat it and be like, hey, everything will be fine. They're gonna be like, no, you're gonna have to do some fucking work, and it's gonna be really shitty, but you gotta do it and it'll be fine. So it's just nice to be able to have a community to do that with.
I feel you. Yeah, and I definitely think that the delivery of telling you all the good things so I get you up high on a cloud is way better than, like, you have to do some fucking work. And then I tell you have to do some work at the end, so you're like, oh yeah, I gotta come back to reality a little bit, but I still have hope.
I hear that. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to come on. We should do this again sometime soon.
Well, for sure. Maybe next time I come on, we'll just, like, it won't be so heavy.
Yeah, we're not going to pick apart you every time. Fuck, dude. We can talk
Oh
about
no,
whatever you
it's
want.
okay. Like I said, sometimes we need that. Sometimes we need it.
I feel it. I feel it. Yeah, well,
All
thank
right.
you so much for your time, and stay out of trouble.
Oh, I'll do my best.
All right. Peace.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.